Friends, Matt Palmer here with another great life story. So excited to introduce our dear friends, clients, Harvey and Rita Hook. They have had an impact in this community that is really hard to overestimate. Many of you will remember the name Harvey Hook associated with a ministry called The Gathering, which for years has brought together leaders within the business and government and not-for-profit sectors to kind of share a common faith and to think about how does faith get lived out in our lives. Rita has been a wonderful supporter of that ministry, but also in her own right is an entrepreneur, has had a very successful corporate career. But both of them now have moved on to some next chapters, and it's these next chapters of their great life that you're going to hear a lot about in the next few minutes. Their time with their children and grandchildren. If there's anything that we can do to help you tell your great life story, it would be such a privilege. Reach out to us. We'd love to chat with you about that. Enjoy Harvey and Rita Hook.
I love my girls as adults. I think it's been really great. So we have one daughter and her husband in town, and a 5.5-year-old and a 3-year-old granddaughter and a 5.5-year-old grandson. And I think what I love is just seeing their little personhood develop and contributing to fun for them and experiences, whether it's pumpkin farms a couple weeks ago or the zoo or just picnics. You know, we really cherish that. Or overnights at Camp Gigi with popcorn and special treats. And I'm Gigi.
I'm Poppy. As grandparents, we get to enjoy the experience of their innocence and the freedom that you have as a child, of which you are fully unaware. And so we as parents are able to relate to our grandchildren in new and different ways than we ever could as parents. Because as parents, you know, we always felt we were on duty. And so the joys that the grandchildren bring, and one of the favorite moments for me over the last several years is to see our daughters, their children, their husbands, all together hanging out at our house. And we're in the kitchen. Rita and I are in the kitchen. And just the joy of watching them as young families relating to one another, loving one another. Very, very special just to be able to celebrate what God has done in bringing all those lives together.
So after, you know, career transitions kind of happening within a couple years of each other in very specific careers, and when I had those breaks, I just started, I don't know, I guess being maybe more my true self, which was taking time to create beauty in our home or in somebody else's home. And when a girlfriend said, hey, could you help me create a home office? And it went from an office to bedrooms to main floor to the dining room and living room. And I saw how I was able to capture what they wanted their home to feel like and decorate it accordingly. Not crazy, but it was just finding their heirlooms or whatever and incorporating them in their home with what I call a reimagined perspective. So now a lot of my days are spent either painting furniture, reimagining colors and styles, and helping people with their homes. And one of my favorite things to do is decorate folks' porches, because that's your sort of entry to the world, coming and going.
Primarily known in Columbus as leading the Gathering for 26 years, where we really sought to impact business, professional, and government leaders. I'm about to step into a new chapter in life, working with a very dear friend of mine, John Perez, founding attorney at Perez & Morris, and partnering with him, just beginning to partner with him on Vista Village, a faith-based community to serve the homeless. And the beauty and joy of this is I get to take all the relationships, everything I've learned, all my experiences from the last 30 to 40 years, and bring them to bear on a brand new initiative to help homeless individuals, serve them with wraparound services, help to meet their needs in a new to Ohio, new to Columbus, tiny homes village to serve them.
I think a lot of times, I wouldn't say we have great visions. We might have a couple bucket list items that we want to do, places we want to visit, and one of mine was to see our country. You know, I've been to Europe and used to travel there for work, but we finally got to go to 6 national parks out west. And it was just the fulfillment of my dream and heart, and I felt the Lord there. I felt in the rocks and in the creation, I felt the Lord, and I'm like, thank you that I got to live long enough to do that. So I think for my future, I don't see it looking much different. It's just that I hope I'm around long enough to dance at our grandkids' weddings. That's probably my greatest hope. And I've told my granddaughter especially, I said, if you ever need somebody to talk to when you're a teenager, you know you can come straight to Gigi. She goes, or my mom, or my dad. And I go, yeah, but you might want to just not talk to them. So, like, yeah, I want to be there for them, you know?
Well, I think one of the greatest challenges in life, and I've struggled with it my entire life, is living in the moment. And the older I get, the more I realize that yesterday is gone, tomorrow is not here. All any person ever has on any given day is that day. And so the challenge to live in the moment, letting go of the past, living fearlessly into the future, not facing any future fear, but to live in the moment and just enjoy the person, the moment, the experiences. And on our recent trip out to the national parks, countless times one of us would say to one another, listen, what do you hear? And the answer was many times, nothing, or the wind blowing, or the stream flowing. And the beauty to do that with the moments we have with one another, with our children and grandchildren. And so that's important to me. It's also important to finish well, and that always includes Rita and the family, but it also includes what I believe God has called me to do in the community, which is always to serve others. And if I can exit this world having served people all the way to the final breath in some way, that'll give me great joy and fulfillment.